this is about how media conglomeration into a monopoly has led to a debt that could destroy the United States. Here is President Clinton signing the 1996 Telecommunications Act, and Bill Moyers talking about what he thinks about it.
That monstrous assault on democracy with malignant consequences for journalism was nothing but a welfare giveaway to the largest, richest, and most powerful media conglomerations in the world.
So here we go, looking at a little description of that.
The Telecommunications Act of 1996 was an influential act for media cross-ownership. The legislation touted as a step that would foster competition actually resulted in the subsequent mergers of several large companies. Trend, which still continues. Over 4,000 radio stations were bought out, and minority ownership of TV stations dropped to its lowest point since the federal government began.
So that concentration here is described.
And so this is not a good development where you have fewer and fewer interests controlling what more and more people see.
The 6 corporations that collectively control U.S. media today are Time Warner, Walt Disney, Viacom, Rupert Murdoch's News Corp, CBS Corporation, and NBC Universal. Together, the Big 6 absolutely dominate news and entertainment in the United States. But even those areas of media that the Big 6 do not completely control.
So the Big 6 companies now that control our media and our culture, who we look at as our thought leaders.
Do you think that anyone in the mainstream news would actually tell you that the Federal Reserve is bad for America, or that we're facing horrific derivatives bubble that could destroy the entire world financial system? Do you think that anyone in the mainstream media would actually tell you the truth about deindustrialization of America, or the truth about the voracious greed of Goldman Sachs?
The factories going offshore, all the wealth that represents, the distribution system, how our economy no longer is in the United States, and how we purchase everything from abroad. And here you have another part of media censorship, which is that soldiers come back from wars that our media promotes and then doesn't show the casualties of these wars. And here's a coffin. It's a Marine returned to the United States, having died fighting for foreign conglomerates because the media convinced our politicians and the people to support that war, which has cost enormously in lives and treasure. Here we go to a description of those media companies.
Control nearly everything you see, hear, and read. First, there's Comcast, formerly owned by GE, which controls MSNBC, NBC, and Telemundo. And there's Disney, which owns ABC, the History Channel, and and ESPN. Next, Viacom, the parent company of MTV, Paramount, and BET. CBS with all its affiliates. And there's News Corp, which owns Fox News, the New York Post, and the Wall Street Journal. And finally, Time Warner, the parent company of CNN, Time, and People magazine, as well as Warner Brothers.
So it's all this into 6 companies. Here's a description of what they have done. These 6 companies since 1996 together have conspired to suck the wealth of the country out. And here's a description of what that means.
When it's over. And until we do that, we have to deal with the extraction that is at foot. It is the reason the financial markets are behaving the way they're behaving. That is a mathematical fact. This is not some opinion. This is a mathematical fact. Tens of trillions of dollars are being extracted from the United States of America. Democrats aren't doing it. Republicans are not doing it. An entire integrated system, financial system.
Media system. The media system is, here's President Obama signing the budget.
Let's keep it going. With that, I'm going to sign it. There you go. And I want to thank.
So what he's keeping going is this. He's keeping going a $20 trillion.
And today's headline about the national debt had a lot to do with it. So as the president goes forward with a spending plan, we now know that we'll approach $20 trillion in debt while he's in office. The other issue in all of this is he's saying, quote, this should free the nation from last-minute government shutdown threats. Actually, what it also frees us of is seeing the president have this on his...
$20 trillion is not described properly. Basically, it creates a class of people that think they're gods. Here's a Nobel Prize winning physicist describing what that debt really means.
We are going to become gods. Period. If you don't like it, get off. You don't have to contribute. You don't have to participate. But if you're going to interfere with me becoming God, we'll have big trouble. And we'll have warfare. The only way you can prevent me in this 50 or is to kill me. If you kill me, I'll kill you.
So
we are
that
going
is
to become gods.
well, that idea is really stems from the budget, because the media has been concentrated in the way it has been concentrated, and our budget has been concentrated in the way it's been concentrated. It's created men like that. And here's a description of our debt.
But he estimates in 10 years, just servicing the debt alone will cost $1 trillion a year. Under the last two administrations, we have seen our national debt quadruple. It was $5 million in 2000. Just 15 years later, $20 trillion. That is a phenomenal, unbelievable, irresponsible, unconscionable number.
Well, and